Greetings world. We are anonymous.
Little attention has been brought to the case of Reality Winner, a former NSA contractor who released a document to The Intercept disclosing that Russian military intelligence executed a cyber attack on US voting software during the 2016 presidential election. She now faces charges of violating the Espionage Act under the Trump administration. Due to a colossal act of negligence by one of the reporters at The Intercept, federal agents were able to trace the leaked document directly back to Winner. Rather than verifying the authenticity of the information within the document with government contractors, as is protocol, an Intercept reporter, who has remained unnamed, sent a copy of the actual document itself. Creases, watermarks and all. Both the NSA and FBI received a copy of the actual document sent to The Intercept by Winner. Shortly after, they arrested her. The Intercept has since issued an apology, though it does Winner little good. They've also agreed to help pay for her legal defense.
I'm Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh.
Earlier this week, the parent company of The Intercept, First Look Media, announced it will provide support for the legal defense of Reality Lee Winner. She's the NSA contractor who pleaded not guilty in June to charges she leaked a top-secret document to The Intercept. Winner, who remains in jail, was charged for allegedly leaking a top-secret document showing how Russian military intelligence attempted to hack into several states' voting infrastructure. She faces up to 10 years in prison if convicted.
The Intercept's handling of the story faced widespread scrutiny. The Department of Justice claimed in an affidavit and search warrant that it caught the leaker in part by actions taken by The Intercept. Earlier this week, The Intercept's editor-in-chief, Betsy Reed, said the organization has done an internal review.
Many mainstream media outlets reported that the leak proved Russia meddled in the US election.
Let's get to the news. The Department of Justice charged a federal contractor named Reality Lee Winner yesterday with leaking classified materials to the press about Russia's meddling in the election. This is a confusing story, so let me try to break it down. Reality Winner leaked information about a reality denier who tried to influence the election to support a reality host who is detached from reality. So now the winner is the loser, and this loser who helped this loser win is the winner, and that's our reality.
This is not accurate. The document shows only that Russian intelligence attempted to obtain voting data. It does not confirm they attempted to affect the election outcome.
We are currently in an age where whistleblowers and leakers are punished with the full extent of the law, while government officials are able to commit crimes and violate the laws and get away with it. So now, we have a young woman named Reality Winner who decided to leak a classified assessment by the NSA to The Intercept, and almost immediately after the story broke, she was arrested, and as a result, her life may now be ruined for the coming years because of it. And it's very clear that Trump's administration, as well as Jeff Sessions' Justice Department, will try to make an example out of Reality Winner. I can't understand why what she leaked wasn't already declassified, because it wasn't really that big of a bombshell in actuality. So what she leaked, according to The Intercept, is a document that demonstrates how the NSA assessed that, quote, Russian military intelligence executed a cyber attack on at least one US voting software supplier and sent spear phishing emails to more than 100 local election officials just days before last November's presidential election, according to a highly classified intelligence report obtained by The Intercept. The report, dated May 5th, 2017, is the most detailed US government account of Russian interference in the election that has yet come to light. While the document provides a rare window into the NSA's understanding of the mechanics of Russian hacking, it does not show the underlying raw intelligence on which the analysis is based. A US intelligence officer who declined to be identified cautioned against drawing too big a conclusion from the document because a single analysis is not necessarily definitive. Now, even though the article itself states that unequivocally that you can't draw too big of a conclusion from this, the mainstream media took this story and sensationalized it like you'd never believe. Now, what she revealed, again, this is an assessment from the NSA. We can't see the raw data, and furthermore, we don't know the extent to which Russians were successful in hacking a third-party voting supplier. So this doesn't mean that they've hacked into voting booths. Nonetheless, this will help to bolster that narrative that Russia did in fact hack the election, regardless if the report doesn't even actually say that.
If there's one potentially good thing about the US's mass surveillance program, it's that they've employed hundreds of thousands of Americans in the intelligence community. This is when you also count the hundreds of small contractors the government now accrues. With so many citizens involved in mass surveillance, security is run thin, and it is inevitable some will turn whistleblower. The government is aware of this. It is part of the reason they punish whistleblowers so severely. They're trying to make examples out of them to intimidate others in the intelligence community and keep them in control. Reality Winner worked for one of those small contractors. After turning whistleblower, she became one of the examples the US government is now trying to make. New York Magazine stated in a recent report, "Those who criticize whistleblowers often suggest that the offender ought to have followed a more responsible course, what Obama once called in his criticism of Snowden the procedures and practices of the intelligence community. There are reasons notorious leakers have stopped doing so, and those reasons involve a man named Thomas Drake. In 2002, Drake had concerns about a wasteful and unconstitutional $1 billion warrantless wiretapping program later revealed to be among the worst and most expensive failures in the history of US intelligence. He alerted the NSA's General Counsel, informed Diana Rourke, a Republican staffer on the House Intelligence Committee in charge of NSA oversight, and, anonymously, informed congressional committees investigating the mistakes that led to 9/11. He alerted the Inspector General of the Department of Defense, which launched an investigation. Colleagues warned him that he ought to stop. Eventually, the FBI raided Drake's home and the Justice Department charged him with willful retention of national defense information. An assistant inspector general later claimed that the Pentagon was punishing Drake for whistleblowing and had improperly destroyed material related to his defense. Drake lost his job, his pension, and his savings. His marriage fell apart. He now works at the Apple Store in Bethesda, Maryland. To avoid their obligations to the Fifth and Sixth Amendments, law enforcement agents like to use what they call non-custodial interrogations, as was the case with Winner. Despite being effectively detained, she was never read her Miranda rights. She was therefore unaware at that time that she had a right to legal counsel and did not have to testify against herself. During Winner's recent court hearing, prosecutors never said her actions were criminal, but, quote, of interest, unquote. For example, it was not criminal that she owned 4 phones, but of interest. It was not criminal that she knew how to change a SIM card, but of interest. The Justice Department is also attempting to make it impossible for Winner to defend herself. Using classification rules that have been described as cumbersome, she will not be allowed to argue her defense in court. Additionally, her attorneys state that parts of her case are unconstitutionally being kept hidden from the public. Winner's attorneys also point out that prosecutors have added no new charges, even though it was months ago they claimed she may have stolen additional secrets. The presiding judge denied her bond, citing concerns she could be a flight risk. She is still being detained at the Lincoln County Detention Center in Lincolnton, Georgia, awaiting her trial scheduled in March. Meanwhile, corrupt politicians, sleazy corporate moguls, and greedy bankers walk free. Because those are the only people freedom applies to in America. Many people, not just in the United States, but around the world, are trying to bring attention to Winner's case. This includes those within the anonymous movement. You too can help by joining the campaign to free Reality Winner. Follow the hashtags RealityWinner and FreeRealityWinner on Twitter. To make donations, please visit standwithreality.org. To read this transcript in full, and for links to sources, please visit www.anonhq.com. We are anonymous. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.